So you got to be like strategic enough to say it correctly, not that brash,
That's
but like
true. That's true.
same type
With
of,
certain
you know
people,
what I
you
mean?
can.
Fitness was the same way. Like, dude, you need to ask your wife if you need to lose your belly. She doesn't want to see that. Let's be real.
Welcome back. Got another episode of the Insurance Insiders podcast. Got with me Kyle Perry, who I actually don't know at all. So this will be fun for all of us. Which I like doing it this way. I told, I don't know if you know Amanda in my world. I don't know how much of my shit you've been on or whatever. I think one day you just hit me up or followed. I don't even remember how we connected. But she sees all my stuff. She's run my office for like 8 years. And she saw it get booked and she was like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, you not watch any of his stuff?" She's like, "Nah." I'm like, "All right." He's kind of crazy. He talks a lot of good stuff that I like. You know what I mean? I'm like, a couple face tattoos and yelling at some people on the internet. I don't know. I fucking like them. Let's figure it out.
That's fun. That's why I like your content a lot because you cuss a lot. Because like a lot of people, they try to water themselves down for content purposes or like not to get canceled. Because I used to be with the different, so I used to do mindset coaching. And I'm slowly transitioning just to straight insurance. And it's because people would pay me $750, dude. And they would act like they gave me $1 million fucking dollars. And they would
Yeah.
want me to like constantly be able to get a hold of me, constantly like bug me about a million things. And I'm like, dude, there's got to be a better way to make this kind of money. So I went
Yeah.
into I was with a captive agency and I recruited like 100 people through when I was on Brad Lee's podcast. And as soon as I started recruiting them, bro, and I had all the people coming through, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to go somewhere else. And then I found FFL because one of my
Mhm.
homies was doing it and I've just been running this ever since. And I
Crazy.
like there's like a lot of gangsters in FFL, dude. Like Chris, I don't remember his last name. The other day he posted a picture of him in his Lambo Urus with his FN on his lap. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm at the right place for sure.
Yeah. We it's funny. It's like started out, man. I've been with them since the beginning. It's just a bunch of like rebels trying to make a bunch of money, dude. Like
Bunch of fucking
we're
misfits,
just
dude.
yeah, it's 100%. It's just what it was, and it's evolved into what y'all see today. And I think it gives a lot of people confidence that you can make a lot of money in the space because none of us walked into it like insurance gurus. We're like, yo, we can just hustle and
And
you know,
it's foolproof too, dude. Because like if you buy the leads and you just work them, then you'll make the money. And like, yeah, at
yeah,
first it's not as profitable because you come in at a lower comp, but the further you get up, like where else can you get that fast of a pay raise in a corporation? Because before
yeah,
I did mindset coaching, I was a corporate leader, and they would give you like a 10% raise every year. Like there's no way you can climb up somewhere that fast, like almost a 50% pay raise over a year.
yeah. No, I agree. I agree. It's wild, and you can control it pretty quick.
And it's the lowest barrier to entry for cost too, because like you go to
Yeah,
college and spend 40 grand for business and not learn jack shit, but you spend a couple $100 and get a few states and make thousands of dollars right off the bat.
yeah. That's crazy. So, how long you been selling insurance?
So I just started taking it serious like the last 2, 3 months. I was with that captive agency for a while and I was really just recruiting because my page was
Got it.
so big and I
Yeah.
was just going to not really produce and just run a team. But then I fell in love with the process. I'm like, dude, I can make $2,000 in a day and I only have to check up with these people like once a year, every 6 months. But
Mhm.
I was selling $2,000 fitness packages for a whole year. So I had to like literally talk to these people for a whole year straight.
Got it.
And it
For
brings
the
in
same
like,
2 grand.
yeah, for the same 2 grand. And it brings in very low vibrational humans in your life too. Like they're constantly complaining. I'm like, dude, you haven't used your food log in 2 weeks. Of course you're getting fatter.
Yeah.
Here, like they pay their premium, they still get their insurance, and I'm just good to go. Or if they don't pay it, I just call them like, hey, what happened? Oh, I don't have any money. So all right, that's all you got to do with maybe a chargeback here and there. But I don't
Yeah.
have to like here it doesn't work over and over and over again. And I'm a brash person anyways, bro. If you tell me it doesn't work and I look at your food log, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna send you your fucking money back because there's no point. Because the before and after will make you way more money than
Yeah.
them just paying you.
It's true. That's funny. How, have you started recruiting to get agents started here yet?
Yeah, I got 2 people under my team already. They just got licensed. They'll be on board within like the next week or two.
Nice.
I got
How,
like 4 more or 5 more taking the test currently, so I should have like a team of. Well, obviously not everyone sticks or sells, but I
not
should
at
have a
all,
ten of.
bro.
So
That's why I
I
was
should
trying to
have a
see how,
team of
because
like
it's like,
five to ten.
it's kind of like the gym membership, dude. It's like for very low barrier entry, they want to ask you 9,000 questions a day and not actually go to work a lot.
Or
So
they
it'd
want
be
to make
interesting to
like
see how,
$50,000 a month, and they don't want to buy any leads or anything.
yeah. How you dealing with that?
Dude, you just gotta tell them like the people that I'm bringing on now, like this one dude, like I told you, I was going through the same thing that you were, like when you got into insurance, you was kind of going
Yeah.
through a separation or whatever. So like my homie, he's like a big gangster like me, and so I know he'll work hard. So he sees me do it every day because we live together right now. So he's like, oh, I can
Got
do
it.
that shit easy. I can run that up,
Got it.
no
Got it.
problem. So
Yeah.
I've been
Not
just
working.
recruiting people with my kind of mindset because 10 savages is better than 100 average people.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. It's an interesting build. It'll be fun to watch. But
I'm
hell,
excited. And then I'm gonna open up an office, even though like I'm not making a lot off people or anything yet, just because like I know that camaraderie when you're inside, and I like
yeah.
my motivational screaming type shit. Like if I can get them amped up at 8 in the morning, it's better than them trying to sit at home. They can walk out the door, go to the bathroom, then an hour later they still haven't
Yeah.
died. I heard you talk about that on a podcast once. So you're like, yeah, you said you dialed for 4 hours, but you made 4 calls, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'll dial
That's
someone 12 times, and if they cuss me out, I'll still dial them again tomorrow. Like you just have to find people that are willing to do that kind of stuff.
yeah. How'd you get there? You did mindset coaching. You're not worried about the phones. Like, what's the journey to
Dude, I
that?
just
Like, what's your
never
background?
been a person that cared what people cared about me. So
For
like
real?
if the dude answers
Always.
the phone and he's like, fuck you, and I'm like, next. Like I don't know, it doesn't bother me. I've always been like that. Like everyone I went to school with have always said I was a like no one's surprised that I'm this person on the internet because I've been this person my entire life. Like there's people that try to make videos and say it's a fake persona, but everyone that knows me, like, nah, he's always been an idiot his entire existence. Like I went to the Marine Corps, dude. Everyone in the Marine Corps is a bald
Yeah.
idiot. Like that's just what we are.
That's funny.
So I don't know. I'm used to like big bald people screaming at me. Like to get promoted, you got to go in front of people that have killed hundreds of people, and they just look at you like, "Hey, fat ass, you're not doing good enough. Get out of my face." So I'm just used to that. So like being on the phone, you don't even see them. They're like, "Yeah, fuck you." Like it's not. I don't know. It
It's
doesn't
just
come
another
easy. It
day.
doesn't even.
Yeah.
Just nothing. It's just words to me, and then I just call the next person.
How long were you Marines?
Just 4 years.
Got it.
I
Got it.
got, I went in there to just get out of trouble, bro. All my friends are dead or in prison. I'm like, I don't want to end up like that. Like, if you Google my city, like the nicknames like Danger City, Little Detroit. So, like, all my friends acted
Okay.
like that. A lot of them didn't make it out, but
What's the name? What's the city?
it's called Mansfield. So,
Mansfield. Okay.
like,
Yeah.
Columbus is below me, and then Cleveland's, I'm literally right in the middle. So, we get all like
Yeah.
the traffic from all the major cities, but it's a really small city with an extreme amount of crime.
Yeah. Makes sense. My city had a nickname too. If you read it in the book, I'm similar. It's funny.
Yeah. I mean,
Great.
I'm like comfortable in the chaos. So like when people cuss at me, it's just like the most mediocre thing about all the things I've been through in my life.
Yeah.
So if no one's ever been cussed at or like had a rough life, insurance probably eats them alive pretty fast, but they'll get used to it too, though.
So upbringing wasn't pretty necessarily. Got a lot of shit going on as a kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even have any family members that I talk to really because like they're just like same mindset that I just talked about. They're just stuck in the loop, bro.
How'd you get out of that?
Brad asked me the same thing, dude. And then I said, well, you have to get out of your environment. He's like, yeah, but you didn't get out of your environment. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
but I got out of my environment in my head. Because I took that environment with me to the Marine Corps. And that's the thing about the military. Like if you left as a gangster, you're gonna find friends that are gangsters in the military, and then you do the same stuff.
Yeah.
So like unless you leave the environment inside your brain, like now I just don't fall victim to it. Like I'll hear people like I don't sit around people that gossip. I don't sit around people with negative mindsets. And that's what most humans do nowadays. They just sit
It's
around
true.
and just gossip and gossip and gossip and talk and worry about other people. Like they're counting the pockets of other people. They do it to me and Wes all the time. They're like, you're not successful because X, Y, and Z. I'm like, dude, but what you're not doing anything. If you have enough time to sit and watch all my videos that compiled into a 25-minute YouTube video, you don't make no money, bro. Like bottom line.
Oh Lord, that's funny. All right, so after 4 years in Marines, then you did what? Because I'm curious how you got to that the coaching side.
I
I'm
was in
sure there's
the
something in
corporate
between.
world. I was running a fault. So I did accounting in the Marine Corps. I went to school. I got my Six Sigma black belt, agile, scrum, human resourcing. So I got a lot of education. I had the military pay for it.
No shit. Cool.
And the Six Sigma black belt is actually extremely hard to, got a very low
What's that
passing rate.
mean? I don't even know what
Six
that means.
Sigma
It means you
black
can kick
belt.
someone's ass. I
No, no,
assume.
no. Like if I come into your business or organization, I can effectively save you $1 million a year. That's what a Six
What?
Sigma is.
For
And I got
real?
a black belt in it, which means I'm the highest one up.
No shit. I
So
thought it was like
yes,
black
No, no,
belt,
no.
like,
People are,
yeah,
I said that on the internet one time. They're like, he thinks he's such a tough guy. I'm like, dude, goose Google. Like, I'm not, it's
yeah.
like, so it's like project management, agile scrum. It's all about
Really?
leaning out,
Got
it's
it.
cutting out all the excess fat. And I did that exact same thing in my life. Like, I was like 300 pounds, working the corporate world. I hated my life. I'm like, what if I just cut out all the bullshit in my life? How much better will my life get? And I
Yeah,
instantly just like, started posting videos online. I hired Wes as my mentor. And then like within
for
six
real.
months of changing my life, I was hanging out with celebrities. Like I was in the gutter in the ghetto. And then 6 months later, I was hanging out with celebrities. Like it literally changes that fast if you make it change that fast.
Yeah,
But so many people get stuck here and they're like, well, what if my friends judge me? Or like, what if then they're not your friends? You'll find your people along the way. Like I just randomly message you and then now we're doing a podcast. Like you just find your people.
yeah,
And I like everything you say is very like cut, dry, and basic. Like, and that's the same way I coached and I did my life. Is like if you just cut out all the excess bullshit,
yeah.
the success will come regardless of how much stress you go through. And like I didn't have a lot of excess in insurance at first. I had a lot of bad luck. A lot of people running leads for people were all having really big problems with Facebook at first. So there was a couple times where I threw like two, three, $4,000, and like my leads took a month and a half to come in. And this was like
Got it.
with big companies, and like
Yeah,
they were all doing, especially vet leads. People were having big issues with it.
yeah,
So like most people would quit, and I'm like, dude, if I like, I already had some money saved from everything else I was doing, but if I go dead broke doing this, I know eventually I can fix myself. Like
yeah.
people aren't down, they're not down to go through the dips, so they'll quit and give up. That's why a lot of people
True.
give up on insurance.
It's true. And people give up
Like
on
that.
everything, bro.
Yeah, like they give up on everything. Just like you said, like I don't know if it was a podcast or just a video I was watching. Like, what if you gave Cody enough money for 30 leads and they all told you to go fuck yourself? What's next? Like, that's
Yeah,
a perfect interview question because it's real.
yeah.
Statistically speaking, you'll fix it the next week off the next 30 and you might sell six
100%.
versus zero.
Yep.
But like they won't look at it from a number standpoint and they're like, dude, I'm screwed. What am I gonna do? It's like
Yeah.
figure out how to get another 30 leads and then you'll sell statistically, six out of the 60.
Yeah.
It
Most get
just
in
so
their head and
happened
think that's what
you
it's going
got
to
the
be like
zero
all the
percent
time.
off the
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah. 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 It's true. Yeah. And it's
And it works
almost,
with
it's
anything,
funny,
dude.
even when it goes good at first and the zero comes after. It's like,
I
that
think
comes
that's
too.
worse
Yeah.
because they get a really big spike. The fitness is the same way. Like I've seen a lot of fitness people come and go. It's like our mindset, or just like in general on Instagram, like they'll get a spike and they'll be
Hmm.
like kind of popular for a little bit. And then like when the algorithm messes up, they drop down and they get it in their own head. They're like, I'm not getting a lot of views anymore. Like, dude, it happens to everyone.
Yeah. Hell yeah, it
Like the
does.
algorithm is smoking everyone right now. If you
Yeah.
don't stay consistent, when it fixes itself, you're not going to be able to pick back up anymore.
Yeah. It's funny watching that shit. We just put out, I don't pay a ton of attention to it, but I got a dude on my team, Reese, that does now. My deal is we just put shit out every day on every platform. I've just done that for
And it
years.
it doesn't matter how many views you get because sometimes you don't get that many
Correct.
views, but I found you still.
Yeah.
Regardless of the views, like we found each other.
Yeah.
And that's just all that matters is like the one or two, the three to four connections that you make that it only takes one connection to really like skyrocket everything.
It's true. Yeah.
And if you looked at it from a grand scheme of things, if you like bird's eye view, if 100 people were listening to you talk a day in a room, like that's a lot of people to be listening to you.
It is. It adds up,
But
dude.
we're so warped, like, oh, we need millions and millions of views. Like, no, you just need like a couple thousand people that actually really resonate with your message to make a lot of money.
Yeah. It's true. That's dope. So so insurance you said started out rough. How's it going now for you? The
Well, it
personal
started
side.
off really good. I went through that high at first. I
You
actually
did.
spent $1,000 and I turned it into 8 grand.
Okay.
And
So
then
it's
I had
right
that
away.
lead thing, and then I literally just lost it all. And then
Yeah.
now, like last week, I spent $1,000 and turned it into 6,800, and then I'll just do that on repeat.
Yeah.
The team I'm with has a really good, just like blueprint. We use the CRM center. Like this
Hmm.
girl from she started last month. She just had 25,000 that she paid first month right off the jump. But then there's other people that start and they don't do that, and it's just the work ethic. It has nothing to do with the blueprint. And now
Yeah.
I'm on track to do the exact same thing now that the leads are fixed. Like I'll take 1,000, turn it in anywhere between 6 to 8 to just whatever. And then as obviously as my comp goes higher, and then the people under me, it just keeps skyrocketing.
Yeah. All telesales, I assume.
Yeah, I've never door knocked. The person that talked me into coming to FFL, his name's Steven. He door knocked for like 3 years. And he's like one of those old
Steve who?
school people. His name's Steven Ferrillo. He's not like a
Okay.
big producer. He was just
Yeah.
doing like 150,000 a year, which is still good money, but like he
Yeah,
just wanted to live a good life, and then he just decided to start building a team. And then he's got someone on like me on his team that knows everyone, so like his team's just going to build by naturally knowing me. So it's just I don't know, just luck of the draw. He commented on one of my YouTube videos. We grew up together. He's like, dude, come to FFL. And I'm like, I don't want to switch, dude. Everyone's always switching. Everyone's always jumping ship. I got a lot of homies in Columbus that work for this company. I think it's a cool company. But then when he started showing me the comp chart and that you can, I'm a busy person because of my mindset thing. So free leads doesn't really work for me because it's too much work
yeah,
because you got to hound them more. I just want someone that applied for insurance just now, even though I got to pay $30 for the brand new lead or whatever it is, because I can sell it in 15, 20 minutes.
yeah,
Versus doing a free lead, it's going to take me an hour and a half. And then I just didn't have time for that. It didn't make sense for me. And so I switched, and it was probably the coolest thing I ever did because like now I'm starting to meet a lot of people. And I really like Sean because Sean had Wes on his podcast, and that's how I found Sean.
yeah, yeah,
And he's a very anti-cancel culture person too, and he says the same type of
yeah,
shit as me. So I'm like, oh, if I ever go super viral and they try to cancel me, Sean's not gonna care.
yeah. No, he won't
He could
care at
probably
all.
just have me on the podcast after that.
100%.
Like,
Yeah, he's crazy as the next guy, dude. Yeah, yeah, I would like him. It's funny as shit. Tell Steve he better keep hiring.
yeah. So now I was his first, and now he's at like he's because I brought on two, and he brought on two more. He's at almost six now, seven
That's dope.
in the next couple. So yeah, he'll start just skyrocketing too. And then like when you get around more people like you, obviously you bring each other up. The person that I just brought on, he's super motivated. So it'll just keep him motivated to keep
Yeah. So the you froze up a little. Let me know if
going.
you can hear me. Oh, there you
I
go.
mean,
I got you.
150,000 in our area, but household median income's only like 38,000. So he was still smoke checking all of our peers. Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yep, I got you now.
But yeah, he like now he was beating everyone in my area.
Makes
So
sense.
I mean, it was still good money, but now he's really ready to elevate. And when you stick around a bunch of people ready to elevate, I mean, it just to the moon after that.
Yeah, it's true. It's if you're an insurance agent and you feel like you're stuck, you've hit a wall, you're trying to figure out sales strategies, the scripts to use, how to get like off the ground and get to that top of the leaderboard type status. I have a course that I've put out, super affordable. I'm getting a ton of great feedback from people every day on the strategies they've learned and been able to implement, from goal setting to sales techniques to calendar scheduling, everything you would need to get your business off the ground and get running quickly. jwcourse.com, click the link below and get in there today. It's a different game, dude, when you run it with some buddies and a couple handfuls of people. It turns wild, dude. We had the same thing, office setting, and it blew up, bro. It was a cool vibe to be around. Just people making money, dude. And we'd have people literally sitting in corners on the floor and closets, just dialing and making a bunch of money every week, dude. It was
That's how it
fun at
works.
the beginning.
And the
Um,
person I brought on, my first person, he was in car sales and was like the number one producer constantly. So he knows like this entire area, and we grew up together. So as we start making a bunch of money and people start seeing it go crazier and crazier, it's just going to be a massive recruiting funnel in Ohio.
yeah,
And then eventually I was going to go to Florida, but now I'm going through that situation with my wife right now. So I'm stuck here. But either way, I'm going to run it up wherever I go. So I'm going to start with Ohio. And then if I end up in Tampa like I wanted to, then I'll just start an office there. Because I know Jay, he has one there, Masca. And because I watch his stuff a lot too.
yeah,
Because I
yeah.
found him because he had Wes on his podcast also.
For real.
Yeah.
Got it. That's
So
dope.
everyone in FFL is not scared of cancel culture. So I'm like, fuck, I might as well just go over there. Either was the other
Yeah,
place either, though. They're a bunch of gangsters. I think all insurance companies have a bunch of gangsters on it, to be honest.
it's true. It's true.
They're
It's
always
a
driving around
different
Lambo
breed.
Uruses and talking shit.
That's funny. You kids or no?
Yeah, I have three kids.
Three?
My
Dope.
oldest is 13, and then my middle one's 9, and my other one's 5.
Hell yeah.
So I
Okay.
wanted to have them young so that way I can, like, my parents had me when they were like 50 something, dude. So, like,
Are
I'm
you
like, I don't
serious?
want to, yeah, I don't want to be an old parent. And my brother is old enough to be
Dang.
my dad almost. Like, so I didn't want that for my kids. So I did it in reverse.
Yeah. How old are you?
32.
Okay. Cool. Yeah,
So when I turned
I was
40, my son already
16
needs.
at my first one. My oldest is should be 31 this year.
It's the
Um,
same type of thing. Yeah.
and then my
That's what I
little guy's
wanted.
13.
Because then you can enjoy your life later.
Yeah. I just kept having them.
I heard you say that too. Like you tried to fix your first marriage by having more kids and it didn't work.
It did
That's
not work.
a
The
lot of
kids were
people do
dope,
that.
but the
Yeah,
marriage
a
did
lot of
not
people do
get
that.
better. A lot of people
Yeah,
do
if you're
that.
not on the same page with somebody, dude, it doesn't matter what you do to change it.
Mm-mm.
That's with
No.
friends too. A lot of people stick around with their friends from like 10 years ago just because they grew up together, but then that's why you're where you are right now because you just kept holding on to things that didn't need held on to anymore.
Never looked at it like that. It's
I
interesting.
mean, people do everything. Like I heard you talk about that with insurance also. Like if you're not making any money off those leads or whatever you're doing, why are you still trying it that way? Like why don't you go to
Yeah.
the next
Change
thing that
something.
someone's showing you how to do? Like
Yeah.
people do that with their friends and their family all the time. Like just because you were born into that family, if they've done a million things wrong to you, doesn't mean you have to. I mean, you can love them from afar, but you don't need to stay around them.
Yeah. It is
Because like
funny,
people
dude.
will always be like, well, Jesus walked around among sinners. Like, yeah, but they killed him too. And I don't want to, they'll kill your soul if you stay around long enough.
That's true. That's a good point. It's funny how many people circle limits them from doing well.
That just happened to someone I just brought on. He's like, well, my X, Y, and Z said, like, what if we go broke or if it doesn't work? And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, dude, if you don't sit them down and tell them, leave me the fuck alone for the next 6 months, it will fail. Because if someone's sitting there telling you it'll fail, it'll fail, it'll fail, the day you don't have a sale at all, you'll get an argument. It'll fuck your whole week up. And now you haven't made a sale all week because you were stressed out about that fight you had about not making a sale the first day of the week.
Yeah. It's true.
And then it's just a vicious cycle. And you need someone in your corner, whether it's a friend, your spouse, or whoever. Because as soon as that negative bug, it's like we've all been at workplaces. Like, did you like ever work in a factory before you were in insurance or any type of
I was in
normal workspace?
warehouses. Yeah, I was in
So I used
warehouses.
to, that's all I did before. And like you could always see like the 7 or 8 people in the corner that were
Mm-hmm.
pointing the finger at the
100%.
positive person. Like he's a brown nose or he's this and that. But
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
positive person literally climbs to the top while they all sit in the corner and make the same amount of money for the next 20 years. And they all say how they hate the job, but they're still there 20 years later. And your friends and family would do the same shit to you just in real life. They'll just keep you stagnant for an eternity.
It's true. When I was in that warehouse, we would load boxes and trucks like a food distributor, and I did nights. So they would deliver the boxes to the warehouse from each of the companies in the morning, and the morning crew would put them up on the shelves or whatever. And then at night, we would pick the individual orders for restaurants, pack the trucks, and then ship them out. And dude, there's people on night shift for 15, 20 years, and their whole goal in life, bro, was just to get the day shift. That was it.
Dude,
That was it.
that's how Ohio is. Like, dude, I can't wait until Steve retires so I can go to first.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, there's something that pays this exact same amount right down the street. You can go to first right now, bro. Why do you have
Yep.
loyalty to this company?
Yeah.
Because, dude, during COVID, if it taught us anything, is that companies have zero loyalty. The company I was working for, like, it was either like get the jab or you're all fired. And they're like, I make
Damn.
$100,000 a year. What am I supposed to do? And then they did
Damn.
that to so like a lot of companies did that to people. So you won't jump ship to make an extra dollar to go to a shift you want to be at for your family. Like, dude, they're just, but it's also them just scared to take a risk. They're like, well, what? Because it's not always greener on the other side. What if the job is way worse on first over there?
Yeah.
Which I understand that too, but I'm not going to sit around for 15 years straight and wait for a shift, dude. That's insane. And I've
Yeah.
met a million people like that.
It's true. That's what got me looking at life different. I was like 20, and I'm like, nah, I ain't I ain't doing. And all the guys working there were like in their 40s. They're like my age now. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
young in the warehouse at the time. And I was like, nah, dude, I can't imagine still doing this shit at 40 something.
I look back all the time. I'm like, what if I was still in that factory that I hated, dude? And then I think about
Yeah.
it, I'm like, there's still people there that I knew of back then. I hated it back
Yep.
then that are still there 12 years later, bro.
It's true.
Or like another instance, like jobs shut down all the time ever since everything happened back to the economy. Is like that place I did work at, I used to do toilets. It was called Mansfield Plumbing. It's like 100 degrees in there, dude. And they keep the humidity at like 70% because the toilets would crack. So they put their bodies through that every single day, all day long, 12-hour days. And then it went out of business, bro. So these people thought they were working till retirement to get let go at 40 to have to go start their lives over. But it
Yeah.
employed so many people that when they all got laid off, they all couldn't go into our economy and find a job. So now they're like
Shit.
going dead broke from a place that they thought was safe. Like everyone says business and entrepreneurship's not safe. but 9 to 5s aren't either. Like 70% of gyms went out of business during all the vaccine stuff because everything got shut down, and like nothing's safe. Like it's just as risky. Or like the '08 crash, like people had to delay their retirement.
True.
So none of it's safe. You can go dead broke on doing anything. And the cool thing
Yeah.
is you can become rich again. And like how many successful people claim bankruptcy? People are so scared to take the risk. Like, dude, all the big names that people look up to have all been dead broke trying to chase what they were doing.
Hell yeah.
Grant Cardone and all of them. So like I don't understand why people are so they want the success, but then when they see the struggle, like I'm just gonna go back to my job.
Yeah. It's it's funny that uh how much people will get stuck in their head over stuff. I think it's worse like when you see people in this space that do enough to know it works, but still stay mediocre.
Yeah, like they'll be like, dude, I just made 5 grand. And then like then buy a whole new pack of like $1,500 worth of leads. And I'm like, well, then I only have 3,500. Plus I gotta pay bills. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, then how do you expect to make the 5 grand again? Like, well, I'm just gonna chew on this for a while. I'm like, dude, like you're trying to squeeze like the seeds out of the lemon's done for already, dude. Like if you don't keep and what other business can you have such a high margin on and not spend anything? So I don't know why people come into
Yeah.
insurance and think that. Like my brother owns a tree service, right? And I remember watching him like we worked on a tree service together. Then on the weekends he would go and he would cut trees on his own. And then he would buy like a $5,000 shitty truck. And then he would have a $7,000 truck. And then he worked his way up to paying cash for like a
Yeah.
$70,000 truck. And then he would have to buy a wood chipper that's like 50 grand. But like where other business where you not have to invest it to make $5,000 a week, it doesn't exist. But for some people come into insurance and are like, I'm just gonna just buy it this one time and then just start keep flipping it and getting referrals and this and that. Like, but dude, it didn't work. You didn't make any money last week. So until you can figure that part out, go buy more leads and if it doesn't work, dude, do it again and do it again and go dead broke. And then you'll statistically you're always going to catch back up. Like you might have a bad week, but over the 3 month period, 6 month period, you're going to close anywhere between 20-30% of all the leads you buy. So like if you bought 200, how many are you going to close? Like how many you're going to close. So just keep calling them and then buying more and then just keep like cycling through. And
Yeah.
it fixed itself eventually. All businesses like that. I spent a lot of money the month I went to the Brad Lee podcast, and I didn't get any return on it at first. But then I had hundreds of people like that dude's following is realer than anyone's following that exists. I had
Yeah.
hundreds of text messages like, "Hey, I saw you on Brad Lee's podcast," because I shouted my number out,
Got it.
and like the end result ended up being really good. But most people are so set on like I need it right now that they're not willing to invest it and then get it back in 6 months.
It's true.
Or they're like dead set on the stock market. Like that might be one of the slowest returns ever, but you guys love that. Like you're not putting 5 grand in the stock market and turning into 15 grand the next week
Or maybe ever. Yeah,
ever. So
decade.
like why is it such a risky thing to do with insurance? I don't understand.
It's funny. It's true. It's
Fitness is the same way. Like you gotta turn it in. Like if you run ads, you gotta do X amount to get them on the phone to close them. It's almost the same as insurance, just a different script.
really.
Like how long have you been fat? 15 years? I need to think about it. Dude, you've been thinking about it for 15 years and you've gained 20 pounds since then. So I mean it's do you
Yeah.
want to lose the weight or not, bro?
So
Same
you were
thing with
selling packages for someone else to coach them, or were you coaching them too?
I would coach him.
You were
But like
coaching too.
most of mine, I used to close them through the DMs because it's how Wes taught me how to do it, and it makes a lot of money. But obviously, you'll get more like to say yes if you get them on a phone call.
Sure.
It's the same type of script. Like, hey man, this is Kyle. I do X, Y, and Z. Um, I'm gonna just have a 5 minute call on how I can get you to your goals. Like, what do you struggle with? And then like you just have a script that
Yeah.
you follow, just like you do with insurance. Like with insurance, I'm like, hey, this is Kyle. I'm your veteran consultant. I see that you requested some life insurance with email, blah blah blah. So the veteran consultant thing really gets their ear.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what's he calling about? And then they're like, oh yeah, I did apply for that. I'm like, awesome. I'm just a veteran underwriter assigned to your case. I work with vets 6 days a week. I'm also a veteran myself, transitioned out of the Marine Corps in 2017. I've been working with vets ever since. Because before I did this, I used to get vet sober as my main fitness business. So like I've always worked with vets. And that just hooks them in right there. And then obviously with vets you get higher premiums, so and the persistency is a little higher than normal because they get VA benefits versus Social Security. Because some
Yeah.
people might be bringing 1,200 a month in for Social Security, but vets are bringing 4,300, so $150 premium. This guy's going to keep it longer.
It's true. Yeah.
And fitness is the same way. I just targeted like I'm like, hey, are you an overweight person in the corporate world and you just feel like shit and you want to be able to play with your kids? Like it's the same thing. Like because I knew I would get a higher caliber of human
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
going to have the $2,000 to invest.
Makes sense. And you just
And then
ran
it was
ads
the
for
same
that
type
too.
of scripts. Yeah, and the same type of scripts. And then I would just run ads and I would retarget, and it's the same thing. Because eventually I'm going to run my own ads for insurance as well. But I want to be able to see what systems work first so I can give my because most people don't have the money to run their own type of leads and
Sure.
stuff, or they don't want to take the risk. So if I'm like, you can do that, because we start all of our people out with age leads at first until they see they make a sale or two, and then you know that you can transition into new. Because you're going to blow the if you buy brand new leads, you're going to blow it as a new salesperson, and then if you blow $1,500, like you're probably going to lose the people.
Yeah. Most don't have it right off the rip. It's funny you talked earlier about that the black belt thing cutting fat. How do you apply that here?
Same thing that you talk about all the time. Like I use the wave system for dialing instead of hand dialing, and then I do triple dials just like everyone else talks about. I know a lot of people are scared of triple dial, but the worst thing that happens
100%.
is like, why'd you call me so many fucking times? Like you weren't answering, dude. You applied for life insurance. Like you know what I mean? Like you don't. It doesn't have to be like this giant, massive, salesy, weird, scary thing. Like, dude, you weren't answering the phone. You requested this. I'm just trying to give you some information.
Yeah.
Especially with vets, dude, they're super cut and dry. I'm like, hey man, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna brash this entire conversation. So then when I get down to it, like I've heard you guys talk about, they're like, I need to think about it. Like, dude, you've been thinking about it for 15 years. And if you die tomorrow, your daughter is going to have to deal with this. Or when they say, I need to ask my wife, like, so you who served in the military as a man wants to put this burden on their wife, this $100 a month burden, which she's going to have the burden anyways if you pass away. Like, and it's just very simple. Like, and then they're like, fuck, dude. You know what I mean? That a hard close sometimes, like, so the bad thing about a hard close is sometimes like they get off the phone, they're like, "Oh, I'm going to cancel that. He
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
pissed me off." So you got to be like strategic enough to say it correctly, not that brash,
That's
but like
true. That's true.
same type
With
of,
certain
you know
people
what I
you
mean?
can. Yeah, with
Yeah,
certain
you just
ones.
got to fill out the conversation. I mean, you have 20-minute feelers, like you have all these introduction, how you do. I'd say how I'm an independent broker versus captive agent, and then I just feel it. And as I see, like if they're like really aggressive or like they're very, that's how I am with them. I'm just blunt at the very end. Because they don't need to think about it. It's just an objection, like you say all the time. What are you going to think
They ain't
about? You know the
actually
price.
going to sit down and
You're not going to sit down and
think
think about it. I
no.
say it all the time. I actually think I learned it from Cody. He's like, the amount of times that people actually get off the phone and think about it is probably 0.1% chance. And
Yeah.
someone might call me back thinking you have insurance and you passed away and now your family's mad at me. So let's just go ahead and secure this bonds package because there's nothing else to think about because the other ones are more expensive that you really don't even know if you can afford and you can add them later. So let's go ahead and start this application, grab your ID and your social, and then you just go right back into it. Fitness was the same way. Like, dude, you need to ask your wife if you need to lose your belly. She doesn't want to see that shit, dude. Let's be real. And it works, dude. Like men like being talked to like that, whether the society wants to admit it or not. I don't want someone on the phone like being all like, I don't know, fruity and weird and like salesy and like, dude, how much does it cost? Like when Wes hit me, when I hit up Wes, I'm like, how much does it cost for 6 months of mentoring? He's like 10 grand. I'm like, send the wire. Like I don't need to talk to you on the phone. I know what you do. I see what you do. I've seen you help people. Just send the wire.
Yeah.
And then I just like a lot of people are like that. Like they know they need it. And if you can just tell them brashly enough to where like, dude, like it's a very selfish thing to tell someone like, oh, like I know it's funny, but they're like, oh, they're just gonna throw me in the backyard. Like John, you know how selfish of you that is to expect your daughter to do that. She's gonna be mourning. She's gonna have to start a GoFundMe. So let's just go ahead and secure this bronze package. Go ahead and grab your ID for me.
Yeah.
And people are just scared, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, most people are procrastinators by nature,
Yeah.
and they're going to try to do it again with you.
Yeah. And then I cut out, but how you asked how I cut out the fat. I use waves, so I triple dial everyone. I do 25 people at a time. So I start at the top and then I get it down to at least like 15 and I move over to my next 25. Because there's going to be obviously people that don't answer
Sure.
no matter how many times you hound them. And then I do the same thing. I do the 25, get them down to 15. Then I merge the two groups in my CRM, do the same thing till I get them down to 15 and then move on.
Yeah. Just work little piles.
Yeah, just little piles, and you just got to keep yourself like if you start getting down or you call someone you've already signed up, just check on them. Bring your happiness back up. Get someone to answer the phone. Don't ever complain down. Don't complain to someone not making any sales. Like call your upline that made $50,000 last month. Like, hey, dude, I'm just not having it because they'll bring you up. If you complain downwards, they're gonna bring you down, and then that's not cutting out the fat either. Because like you're just making it two people complaining doesn't change the situation.
That's true. You use that in life.
Yeah. I mean, I did apply a lot of my mindset stuff to this. I've always done it. Like sometimes, dude, I'd be a little bit too motivating at work though when I was a corporate leader, and I'm like, yeah, you guys can do this. You should do this. Like, look how hard this dude works. And then he's like, hey, dude, I'm gonna go take this $30 an hour job. You made me realize I'm better than this one. I'm like, well, I mean, which is
Yeah.
cool because I
Yeah.
like changing
Yeah.
lives, but at some point, if you motivate people too much, they'll
Yeah.
leave you.
Yeah. It's true.
Which is
I've
good
seen
karma if you believe in karmic debt and stuff, though. So
it's true. I mean, at the end, if you're trying to help people win and you help
yeah,
them see
it
a bigger
always comes
vision,
back, dude.
you know,
But insurance, literally, if you just dial, like cut out the fat, like get a dialer system, Kixie Wave, whatever, and you just triple dial every single person every single day, and then you get it down to a point where, like, obviously, those people aren't going to answer. If you bought them brand new, you can treat them like an age lead like 30 days later because you buy age lead and people make money all the time. So I'll just put them in a 30-day-old category, let them sit for a while to where they don't recognize my number, and then bang them again for like a day or two and
makes
get
sense.
another two or three out of it.
I'm working them.
Yeah. People are
Do you,
just lazy though. So like if you're not successful and you have a good upline, you have good mentors and you're not being successful, it's not insurance, it's not the leads, it's not the
yeah.
CRM, it's just you not trying hard enough.
It's funny you hear people go like, I want to see if it works. And I'm like, you want to see if
Dude,
insurance works? Like,
yeah.
what?
Do you see how many people are driving around the car you want to
Yeah.
drive, dude? Like
What do you mean you want to see if it works? It definitely works.
all
Yeah.
of them work too. Like people like
It's true.
I took
100%.
like I captive agents argue with independent brokers all the time. Like, dude, both of you guys drive nice cars.
Mm-hmm.
Both of you, like if you just network together, like dude, I still talk to the people from my captive agency. Like anyone that gets denied, send it to me, I'll get them approved.
Yeah.
And I'll send you guys that don't want to pay for leads. Like I'll just send you guys recruits that want to
Yeah.
start off free because they have no money. I'm not here to
Makes
fight with
sense.
nobody in this industry because it all works. And they'll be like, there's independent brokers like, well, they're doing bait and switch and this and that. Like, is the person happy that they bought the insurance plan? Are they happy that they got something secured for their family? Because that's really all that matters at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Is the
It's
person
just an
happy
angle
that
and
he
it
makes
does work.
50% comp but doesn't pay for leads? Then that's all that matters. Like if
Yeah.
he's cool with that lifestyle, then who cares?
That's true. Yeah. It's like every company, every line of insurance, Medicare, health, ACA, they all work.
Yeah.
Every company has someone rich for the most part. Any decent sized company anyway. If you're in the insurance space and trying to build an agency, or you're trying to like break records in sales, just hit new levels, new heights, click the link below to apply to my consulting and coaching program that I have out there. I'm helping tons of people get to new levels, get to new income heights, help them build their teams, put systems in place, staffing stuff, recruiting processes, automations, and just teaching people how to get to a point where they're selling on their own pen 30, 40, 50 grand a month. And if they're building a team, teaching how to have an effective structure to your insurance agency for the most profitability you can. There is an application process. I'm only looking to work with like high-end people who really want to make big things happen. A couple recent clients that we've had in the coaching program. One dude as an individual went from selling like 8 grand a month, barely getting by, about to quit the industry, found the book, hit me up direct, started a coaching program, went to 35K his first month, has issued like 150K in the last 90 days, and has changed the trajectory of his career. Working with another agency builder, very first month went from doing like 800 grand a month to almost 1.1 million. We added like 10 or 15% production in 30 days and continue to work on things there. So if you're interested, click the link, apply, and if you're a fit, I'll reach out.
They'll be like, well, it's just a recruiting tactic and it's a scam. Like, dude, someone's making sales to make that dude money. So there's definitely people underneath that guy making sales or he wouldn't have any money either.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
So, but yeah, it might be a little bit more work. Like me personally, I didn't have time to work the leads that hard that have been worked 1,000 times. Like I just didn't have it in me. I'm just too
Yeah.
busy of a
So
person with
pay
my
for,
my
yeah,
Instagram, and I'd rather just pay the $30, someone that just applied, and the chances of me closing them in 20 minutes, 25 minutes is relatively higher versus, I had to give them something free, then sell them something, and then I'm an hour
yeah,
and 15 minutes in. And if they tell me
yeah,
no, I just wasted an hour and 15 minutes. Because
makes
here I could
sense.
have done 4 presentations and made a sale regardless.
True.
So it just worked out better for me. But I think that's another thing that if you network with people, even if they weren't on your team, like you could go a lot further eventually.
Yeah. What do you
Which I
have
do know
like?
people that do that. Like they two top people at one
Yeah,
captive, one they do exactly what I do. Like
sure.
just send me everybody that gets denied through your insurance. I'll get them approved, and then I'll send you all people that want free leads because some people can't afford to start where it's, I pay $400 for my states and then I do 350 for age leads. And then I did whatever else. I got the E&O and I got all these other things. I took this AIL class and I did all these things. Some people just, some people are dead broke in our economy, which
It's true.
go get some free leads, bro. Go get two, three states, go get a company. And if you don't like it, at least you have the experience now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you could at least make 5,000, $3,000 a month doing free leads at a company you don't like if you just tried hard enough. But you spent no money, and it's still better than that 9 to 5, and you got experience, and then switch if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Just don't burn any bridges on the way. Like when I left, I'm like, hey, bro, I'm like, there's no hard feelings. I like you guys' company. I like you guys are all cool. I still kick it with all you guys. And FFL just makes more sense to me. I know Wes, I know Brad Lee, and I know they all know Sean, and I just like how
Yeah.
gangster it is over there. I just respectfully let them know, like, hey, I'm just gonna go over here, and they still communicate with me. I still send the other guy recruits. I want free leads, and like, cause one person, this dude I'm talking about, he's beefing with someone in FFL, and they're like going back and forth right now on Instagram, and I'm like, dude, just who gives a fuck? Just tell them to get into insurance. Like they'll
Yeah.
figure it out later.
It's funny.
They both attacked each other, and now they're like, he attacked me. Like, dude, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a shit? Yeah.
Who
It's
cares,
always
bro?
funny. I
You're
just
all, bro.
unfollow them.
Both of
Yeah.
you are driving around Lambo Uruses, so both of you
It
figured it out.
works. It's
So,
true.
and that's the thing with the internet. It's just full of a lot of hate and a lot of haters. And like if we all just figured out how to like push each other forward, imagine how much further we would all go. Which has been an argument since the dawn of time. But insurance is the same way, dude. Like you don't have to beef out here. You don't have to have the perfect system. You just have to work it.
Yeah. What do you get the most on social that's like, why the hell are you sending me that? Because I see some of your stuff. I ain't seen a
Like you
lot,
talking
but
about
I'm
like
like,
comments and stuff.
yeah, something,
Right now they're
something,
making
something
up
drove
this
you
thing.
crazy
Right
recently.
now, some fucking YouTuber made a video about me and they're all like, your wife left you and they're not allowed to see your kids anymore. And they keep commenting that. And I'm like,
Got it.
where do you guys get this information from? And the or like someone will get mad because I say something aggressive and they go around saying I got kicked out of the Marine Corps. This is the thing, dude. When you post proof, they just switch the narrative, right?
Mhm.
Like I would post proof or like I would post bank statements of how much money Wes made me. Like I've had $10,000 days from fitness and they're like, it's a fake bank statement. So like there's no real point to argue with these people because at the end of the day, they just want to be losers. They just want to make themselves feel better and attack like I was talking about earlier, like they're counting my pockets when they don't have anything in
Yeah.
their pockets at all.
Yeah.
And if you get like the bigger you get on social media, you'll just randomly start to get it too, like for no reason, dude. Like you're
True.
not even an aggressive person because they blame it on my aggressiveness, right? But how
Yeah.
aggressive is Alex Hormozy? He's not aggressive at all. And if you go to his wife's page, it's nothing but like, you got a nose job, you stupid bitch, you're ugly, you
It's
sound like a
true.
man. Like, dude, she
Yeah.
didn't do nothing to you guys. She's not aggressive. It's not the aggressiveness they hate in me.
Mm-mm. No, it's not.
But
I
like
get it
the
on
thing is,
YouTube
like,
a lot.
I'll never be too old or too grown to talk shit back to you. Like they'll be like, dude, I can't wait until I see your wife. I'm gonna do this and this to her. I'm like, I will dent your fucking forehead in tomorrow if you ever show up. And they're like, dude, you can't say that. You gotta, I might say whatever. Like you brought it first, and now you're getting the same
uh,
aggression back, and now I'm the bad guy. And they'll post those. Like people will be in my DMs like, don't ever come to don't ever come to Boston. It's over for you. I'm like, I'll touch down in Boston tomorrow. Like, why? Like, don't threaten me first. Now I got proof, dude. And I was in the Marine Corps and I'm trained enough to be able to not
you
get taken
survive.
out of a situation, dude. Like
That's funny.
the internet is weird. I get that a lot. Or they'll threaten my kids or like, dude, I'm not even saying anything that bad. I'm like, if you're fat, you overeat. If you're broke, you didn't work hard enough. If you're negative, you have negative friends around you. Like if you like the most if you drink more than one time a week, you're an alcoholic by definition. Like and you shouldn't be drinking and smoking if you're broke. And they're like, oh, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, that's how you get successful by doing all those basic things. That's just basic, like, life principles.
Yeah.
Because like you're talking about doing 75 hard right now. I mean, that's literally 75 hard in a nutshell. Don't drink, work out twice a
Yeah,
day,
it's
stay
true.
positive, drink water, read books. Because I've
Yeah.
met Andy Frisella in person, and he's just as aggressive as me. But he has such a
He is
cult
aggressive.
following.
Yeah.
He might be worse than me, bro. Like he walked
Oh,
on stage.
100%.
He did the Boston sit down. So I went to Boston and he walked up on stage, dude. And he was like, "I'll just let every one of you motherfuckers know right now if we was in competition or in war, I'd kill every one of you right fucking now." And then he just went into this giant speech, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even say nothing half as bad as that. But when your following's that big, it eats up all the negativity.
True.
So when you're as aggressive as me and the hate comes first, because I'm attached to Wes. So when they make videos, they found me through Wes. So their following's all automatically bigger than mine. So they'll
Got it.
come and like eat my page up. So, but as I keep going, I can eventually even out because I'm sure when he made videos at first, his hometown did the same thing to him and hated on him. It's funny, bro. People in my town that hate me because of how I am will share his shit. And I'm like, we're the same person. Like I hung out with DJ, the dude that does the podcast with him for like 3 hours, and we talked, and he's a veteran too, and he's just as aggressive as me, if not worse. But like it's just you're no one wants to see you keep climbing past them. So they'll just keep like trying to pull it backwards.
It's
They do it to
craziness.
David Goggins all the time too, dude. They talk crazy to David Goggins, and he's the most savage dude on the planet.
He is savage.
They just I don't know what it is about the internet. They just try to like make up false. The guy that hangs out with Wes, his videographer and his best friend, he's a Marine that did 350 weeks in a combat zone. His
Damn.
stack on his thing is like this fucking big, bro. And they make a video about this dude once a week saying how he's a fake alpha. Like if that's a fake alpha, I don't want to meet a real one. Like, but
People are
yeah, I get
wild,
those.
dude.
I get the same comments. Like they'll just one page will post something about me and then they just spread it like wildfire.
Yeah. I think it's funny. It stops a lot of people from putting stuff on social in general, knowing they should just for their business stuff. Because
Yeah,
you actually have a strategy on your social. You can see it when you're watching it.
yeah, 100%.
So it's like sometimes I think you just like, it's like, all right, I can't help but answer this one. But
Yeah,
the other 90% of your stuff's like legit, dude.
yeah.
Um,
It's just a
and
giant. Wes taught me. It's a blueprint. You follow the same blueprint every single day, and you post the same shit, and you do call to action certain ways.
yeah,
Like,
you
and
can
I
see
just
like
switched it.
one's a text, one's a
Yep,
video, one's like
yep,
the mutual. It's you got a little rhythm to it.
yeah. Same thing with my stories. Like, I changed my. That's one thing about when they say that these people teaching you like these classes online or these courses, and they say they're a scam, right? If you taught me exactly how to grow your business and I tried to recreate John Wetmore without putting my spin to it, it would fail, bro, because
Agreed.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to duplicate you versus take yours and turn it into mine.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so successful with his blueprint because he'll have like round one, round two as his workouts, and then he'll like have macros and whatever. And instantly I'm like, I don't want to be a copycat like all these other people. So I put earn your breakfast, earn your dinner. And that was like coin phrase in my city. When I would walk in through like
Huh.
the stores and stuff, they'd be like, earn your breakfast, bro. So I coined myself off of his blueprint.
Got it.
And I'm doing when people come and they say it's a scam, they try to be Wes or they try to be
Yeah. Yeah.
John or
Yeah.
they try
Yeah.
to be Brad. And instead of take because Brad sat down and he's like, dude, you're he's like, I love every one of these mindset coaches, don't get me wrong. He's like, but you need to listen to me. And mindset coaching cannot be the only thing you sell. And that's like one of the reasons I knew insurance was going to do good for me because it's just one stream of like seven things that Brad does. Because Brad
True.
has
Yeah.
the real, and then there's solar, there's the merchant services, there's the insurance, there's the sales of the sales, which he makes salespeople sell for him. And then
Yeah.
he sells a coaching course called the closer. And then who that's 6 grand. And when they pay for that, they can come work at any of these companies he has. And after X amount, they make that money back and he pays them back to 6 grand for being such an exceptional worker. And that's how
Got
he
it.
taught me how to do my shit. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm gonna have insurance and then all these other sales businesses, and it's all gonna be under the umbrella of the Perry's Powerhouse that I started originally.
Got it.
Because eventually I'm gonna get back into coaching, but I'm only gonna do social media coaching instead of fitness.
For
Because
real.
I want to be able to show people how much, and it comes with all year scamming people, but the people that listen and I change their lives, that's all that matters to me.
Yeah.
Because
That's
like
true.
the thing is, like I used to charge $3,500, right? And $3,500 ain't shit to you. But if I showed you like, hey, this is how I got 18 million views, and now you went from 6,000 agents to 6,500, I
Sure.
just turned that 3,500 into 350,000 in a year for you. So you're going to
Yeah.
be grateful. yeah, sure, five people make a video about me and say it's a scam, but look how
Mhm.
many lives we just
It's
impacted
true.
by doing it. And
Yeah.
it's because I heard you say that yours is a little underpriced for your mastermind. Like there's people that charge 20 grand to go to for mastermind.
100%.
I paid to go to a mastermind. It was 10 grand. I got to have dinner with Birdman, Andy Frisella, Wes Watson, Mike Rashid. And people are like, you got scammed. Like, dude, first off, you don't even have 10 grand to
Mm-mm.
spend to go to that, first of all. And second off, I got more in that one night. Like, you've never hung out with someone that's a billionaire to learn and pick their brain.
It's
I
true.
would do that five other times, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I paid a mint to get around Patrick Bet David
Same
and
thing.
Milet. I did some stuff
Yeah,
with
same
Milet.
thing.
That was not cheap. I've done it a bunch. I've paid a lot over the years to get around just people that look different, see different, give me a quicker
Yeah.
path, give me some info I didn't know
Dude, they'll
before.
pay 50 grand to go to college, but they won't pay 10 grand to learn something, compress
It's
the
true.
time. Because I've probably spent like at this point between masterminds and coaches and mentors, probably like 50, 60,000. Same as someone spent in college, but I don't have to work a job no more.
Yeah.
I have
It's
a
true.
great network and my life is way better than it was before I spent that 50,000.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, I offer it, but I also consume it
Yeah,
in the same
exactly.
way. It's like, and it's always helped. Every time
And the
I've
thing is,
gotten
like, these business people, if you spend 10 grand, like if I spend 10 grand to go to your mastermind, I mean, that's a coaching course that's then still a write off, anyways. Like,
correct, it's true,
or the government's going
100%.
to get it, and everyone knows no one, the
Yeah.
government's not doing anything for us right now with our money. Elon just proved that. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's going somewhere.
you might as well just give it back to the economy, dude. You might as well give it back to someone else that's going to put it into the economy.
True. I always was taught to like basically buy more cash flow.
Yeah.
And there's lots of different ways to do that.
Yeah.
Leads, coaching, masterminds, things like that. I've spent
Everything.
a mint. I, yeah, I've spent
Coaching and
several hundred
masterminds
thousand.
are definitely probably the best money anyone can spend. And I don't even have a mastermind. So they can't come and say, like, well, he's just saying that because he has a mastermind. Like, no, dude. Imagine if you're used to hanging out with 10 people and they all make $40,000 a year and they're
Yeah.
telling you all these things that they did to get their life where they're at. And that's all you hear.
Yeah.
And then you spend 10 grand to get into a room and everyone's making $1 million a month. Just the conversation alone can get you motivated enough to get out of the $40,000 a year tax bracket.
Yeah. Especially the ones actually making the money doing a thing, not just making
Yeah.
the money doing the coach. You know what I mean? It's like I
Yeah.
see some people do coaching and they only make the money doing the coaching. They've
Yeah. I
never
don't like
made
that
money
shit.
doing the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why like I never wanted to like now I'm comfortable with it because of how much I blew my social medias up and stuff like that. But like before, I'm like, I hate coaches that are creating coaches because they bought a coaching program. But no, I've had $10,000 fitness days.
Yeah.
So I can assure you now I can teach you how to do that kind of thing.
Correct.
Or
Correct.
like I've hung out with Brad Lee, or like I've gotten rooms with millionaires. So I can teach you how to leverage your network.
Yeah. That's
The
true.
same thing, like when I hit you up, I'm like, hey, I was on the Brad Lee podcast before. I just use that to just bombard myself other places. And like
Yeah.
you can do that after you've been to a mastermind. Like,
It's
hey,
true.
here's a picture of me and Bet David. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then it just gets you in more rooms, dude. It's just, and then the more money you're willing to spend to get your life out there and show your face, and the more times you can change your life. But if you sit in that room with those people with that negative mindset that make
True.
$40,000 a year, which there's nothing wrong with the working man either. I'm not attacking them. They're just a lot of them are
There's more
lost
in life if you want it. There's
if you
plenty
want it.
more.
But if
Yeah.
you're happy with that, then cool. Because I tell you right now, every day I wake up and want more. So sometimes it's a blessing and a curse.
100%,
Sometimes I'm like,
dude.
that would be kind of cool to wake up back when I made $50,000 a year and I had no care in the world, bro.
Yeah. It's funny. I used to be that dude and I don't know how to do it now. Like I have a night where we don't have something. I'm like, what do I do exactly?
You're
Like
bored.
I don't feel like I feel like if I'm not going towards accomplishing something, I feel like I'm to just sit and do nothing. I struggle with it, dude. And I'm like,
Dude, most
I,
people that sell their businesses, they end up killing themselves.
yeah,
Because when you just sit around and do nothing, I mean, you're just not living a life of purpose.
mm-mm,
Like
I can't
you're
do
not
it.
as especially as a man, like you're built to like be a protector and be a leader and like
Yeah,
work in the city and like be all these things. And then you're like sitting in your house, especially with technology nowadays. Like if you sold a business, you're just sitting there watching like mind-numbing TV. Like
I can't do it.
you're
That's why I've turned up everything on my health and the personal side. You know,
not made for
yeah,
that. You will go crazy.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And for me it's been like I'm getting some cool time with the kids. And dude, I'm like, why is
Dude,
this
but
thing
you can
jumping at
always be a
me?
little bit more.
And then yeah. And then, the personal health journey for me has been fun. Because I saw some old picture of you. I wasn't quite that big, but I was 250. I'm 6'1". I was 250. I had a little gut, dude, and my thighs were freaking
Still
huge,
way bigger
bro.
than humans are supposed to be,
Yeah,
though.
dude, I was like, whoa, this is going the wrong way, dude. You sit the wrong way, and I'm like, that bitch pops out like I'm like 7 months pregnant. I'm like, oh Lord.
And
So
the
I've
thing
been
is, dude, I mean, it's not really about the abs or like the muscles. It's about how you feel internally
agreed.
getting to there, right?
Yeah.
Because when I used to make really aggressive fitness videos, they're like, "You're so egotistical. It's not about the abs." I'm like, I agree with you. It's not about how you look,
Mm-hmm.
but when you look that good, you feel that good.
Agreed. I
That's the
feel way
thing.
better.
Just the
Yeah.
food you eat, the way you
Yeah.
consume things, like being on a like I get up, my schedule is like I get up, I work out, I get up at 5:30, I work out from 6 to 7, then I dial from like 7:30 to whenever. Like I just have a goal. Like I normally dial to like 8. In between time, I take a break from 1 to 3 because like no one really answers during lunchtime unless you're calling West Coast,
Mm-hmm.
which I just take a little bit of a break. And then I live that same life on repeat every day, bro.
Yeah.
And that's how I keep myself sane because without a disciplined routine thing, I'm an addict by nature. Like I'm a massive alcoholic, a massive partier. All my friends are
Yeah.
like that or were like that. And it's the same thing. They're disciplined and doing that, drinking every night. And like they go to
Yeah.
work and then they drink from 5 to 7. They're disciplined. They're just disciplined in the wrong stuff.
It's true. It's 100% true, dude. Disciplined on Netflix and disciplined on
It's the
being late.
same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to dedicate the time to watch the TV for 2 hours or drink those beers with your friends every day. And yeah, they're still disciplined, bro. They're just disciplined in it's like you
Yeah.
never stop being an addict. You never stop being an alcoholic. You never stop being any of those things. You got a habit map, bro. So like
It's
you got
true.
to replace those habits with fitness and reading and doing and working. And that's probably why I work so much because if not, I would just be drunk all the time like I used to be.
Bro, me and vodka were way too friendly, dude. And
Dude, exactly.
I grew up smoking a lot of stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I gotta let me smoothies. I've now replaced vodka with smoothies, and I've replaced sitting around doing dumb shit with running, and it's like,
Exactly. It's it. It's
mm,
just a habit map. And
yeah,
because people think I'm like against all that. And I'm like, I'm not against you drinking or smoking if you can afford it. What
yeah,
I'm against is you sitting around complaining every fucking day about your life or that you don't have any money, but then you're drinking and smoking. You could save $200, $300 a week right there and then start getting ahead.
true, it's true.
Like, I'm not against any, I think moderation is cool if you can do it. I just can't. Like I can't, bro. I'll start drinking again, and before you know, I'm like in the middle of the hood doing
It'll
some
be
crazy
over.
shit. Like it's a weird
It's
mindset to be
funny what
consumed
culture
by.
can do. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it will really
I get it.
consume your entire life, bro. And like it's crazy, dude, because I've met people like when I was in the Marine Corps, I had a buddy from Wisconsin. He's like, I've never been in a fist fight in my life. And I'm like, that would be such a cool environment to grow up in, to like not have to deal with any of that.
Yeah,
But like most of the world, like a lot of the world's really violent, bro. We downplay it, water it down, and try to act like it's not, dude. It's a lot of violent shit out there.
it's true. It's true, dude. Well, it's been fun, bro. Appreciate you getting on and
Yeah,
sharing.
it's cool.
And thanks for
Break
hitting
up
me
the
up.
monotony
Yeah,
for
dude, it was
sure.
different. And it was like people were like, "How?" I'm like, he just sent me a DM and asked, and I was like, "Well, sure. Why the fuck not? Let's
Yeah.
go."
Because the cool
Yeah,
thing
so
is, in 6 months from now, when I build a bigger agency, I'm like, hey, look, I took that mindset and look what I did.
yeah, I love it,
It's
dude.
just documentation.
It's true. Well, keep at it, brother. Let me know if I can help at
Oh yeah,
all.
man.
Appreciate
Appreciate you having
your
me on.
time. Thanks for sharing and go
I have
knock
to
it
meet
out.
up with you and do one of those marathons or something, dude.
Let's go, bro. You want to sign up?
Yeah.
Come on. I
I
just
don't
did it
know if
with a
I can
bunch of
do one
guys.
this soon because all that shit I'm going through with my house and stuff, but
Yeah,
I
I
can
get
do
it.
one
You
soon.
let me know. Let me know.
Hell yeah, bro.
I got 6 or 7 people did one with me a couple weeks ago here
Really?
in Atlanta. Yeah, oh yeah, dude. So I'm
We gotta
like,
do
y'all
it.
want to come do some crazy shit with me? Come on. I'm always out there by myself.
You like rucking? I do a lot of rucking.
Yeah, I do. Yep, I do the weighted vest. I have a mountain
Hell
6 minutes
yeah.
from my house
Hell yeah, I'll
on
hit
a
you up. We'll
hike.
do some crazy ass rucking and get it
Yeah,
on film and shit.
I love it. Let me know.
Thanks for having me, bro.
All right, see you guys. Do more later.